Welcome to Everything Casual, bringing you original football casual videos from the golden era of the 80s and 90s, right up to current day. Football away day stories and historic clashes between football firms. Subscribe so you don't miss out. We upload videos every week. Today, we are looking at two of the most respected firms from the golden age of the football hooliganism era. Cardiff City Soul Crew and the Birmingham City Zulus. We will look at the most notable clashes between the two mobs. We will listen to real accounts from proper football lads that were actually there and involved in the clashes. There have been a few comments on previous videos saying stuff like, "All he does is read out books," or they say, "This is all lies in the video." What I will say is that when I make a video, I try and make them as factually correct as possible from a neutral point of view. I'm not a Zulu and I'm not a member of the Soul Crew, so sometimes information that I have been given may not be totally accurate or may have been exaggerated. All I can give you in my videos is information of incidents that I have been given. Yes, I do get some information from football lads' books, as well as from multiple other sources, but I will only give details from books that I actually own myself, and I will also promote, advertise and recommend that book too, which hopefully will help the football lads get more sales and generate interest and business for the football casual lads. Also, if you disagree with any information stated in a video, and you know a different story to what has been said, then just let me know in the comment section. Anyway, let's get into the video. The Soul Crew versus Birmingham Zulus. We will hear both sides of the story from proper genuine lads, starting with the Soul Crew. The following are all the own words of Cardiff lad David Jones. On the train we scanned the newspapers for a look at who was travelling where. Much to our liking, we saw that Birmingham City were going to Derby County, and we were due to bump into the Zulus at New Street Station. Cardiff had the reputation of being big drinkers, and most of our mob was already pissed by the time they got to Gloucester Station. The unruly behaviour of our mob forced the British rail food staff to close up early. Despite this, in those days you were rarely greeted by the British Transport Police, and little attention was brought upon us, thus not spoiling the plans we were hatching for Birmingham. Eventually we arrived at Birmingham New Street, Battleground Central, and got off with little fuss. We were surprised to find that there were no blue noses lurking about. Then we realised that we had to go to Derby to change our final destination at Lincoln, slightly bewildered at the absence of the Brummies. We boarded our train, but just as it was about to pull off, a mass of taquini and Pringle-clad young Zulus appeared and got on. There was about 150 of them, and they had obviously delayed their arrival until the last minute. Why? I suspect that they had got wind that we were coming through, had not noticed most of our mob congregated down at the bottom end of the vast platform, and had just seen the few in full view of the escalators. Birmingham must have seen these 30 or so Welshmen, and then braved it, thinking that was our mob in total. Much to their shock, we outnumbered them nearly 3-1. Even more surprisingly, nothing happened on the train, not even a crossword. Some even chatted and played cards together. What was going on? We got to Derby Station, and for a moment we went our separate ways. Birmingham climbed the stairwell, and we moved along the platform, awaiting the arrival of the Lincoln train. All of a sudden, I heard a roar, and Birmingham came flying down the staircase, punching anyone in sight. We backed off at first, surprised by their actions, but soon realised what was going down. We regrouped, proceeded towards the Brummies, and then steamed them off the platform. A few disgruntled Zulus sought refuge by running across the railway tracks. Although we heavily outnumbered them, this was to be a defining moment in the history of the Soul Crew. The news spread like wildfire across the country, much to the ridicule of the Zulus. Now let's hear from another one of the Soul Crew top lads, Jonathan Evans. Again, all his own words as he talks about the Birmingham Zulus. This is what he had to say. Birmingham Zulus, they're probably, I would say, yeah, they were probably the best in the Midlands. You think, yeah, the numbers they had, the lads, you know. I can remember Birmingham. Another impression Birmingham left on me. I was only a kid, Again, they came to Cardiff. Oh, you had to be in the 80s. I was a youngster. They came out to us and they were all dressed in Burberry and had lots of black lads. I was on a bus coming into town and I spotted this firm on the street outside the bus window. I was like, oh, these look very good. Yeah, Birmingham got massive numbers. Good firm. And this is what the Godfather himself, Terrace legend, Mr. Anis Abraham, said about the Birmingham Zulus. I've got the highest respect for the Zulus. Birmingham have come to Cardiff many times. Always come to Cardiff. Have they annihilated us? No. Have we annihilated them? No. Newcastle never have come properly to Cardiff. Yes, but you were rounded up in the ground and fair play. They really tried to have a go us. But we've been to Birmingham loads of times. I mean loads too. Let's go back to David Jones. This time he very honestly talks about the time Cardiff came unstuck against the Zulus. This is what he said. Football hooliganism was rife in the 1980s, as rival fans took feuds outside, but notorious Cardiff Soul Crew suffered a battering at the hands of Birmingham Zulus. Football hooliganism was a way of life for some football fans, and Cardiff City Soul Crew were one of the most revered in the country. The gang enjoyed a number of tear-ups during the 80s and 90s, but one day lasts long in their members' memories for an unwanted reason. Cardiff hosted Birmingham City in December 1984 in the second division, and it was not a night to celebrate on or off the pitch, as the Bluebirds were beaten 2-1, and then the Soul Crew were left on the receiving end of a battering in Wales. In the Soul Crew book, firm member David Jones revealed the worst beating he witnessed in his 15 years running with the Cardiff Hooligan group, dished out to them by Birmingham Zulu group outside the ground following the game. The excerpt read, "By 9 o'clock there were 60 of us left, mostly the West Glamorgan contingent waiting for the 10 o'clock PM train home. All of a sudden, one of the boys ran panic-stricken through the doors and informed us that a mob of Zulus were waiting in the alleyway behind the Philharmonic. He was covered head to toe in blood from a severe beating. We got tooled up and went in search for the Zulus, confident of a result with the good mob we had. Little did we know what awaited us. We were immediately met by about 25 Zulus wielding blades. They just kept coming at us like robots. All you could see was the whites of their teeth, smiling at us. The row lasted for about 5 minutes, which is a long time, as we were scattered, then tried to regroup and have another go. I was hit on the head by a golfing umbrella and was out of action for the second time that day, and in the end, Cardiff got annihilated, with Gary and a few of the Neath lot being chased up Caroline Street, or Salmonella Street as it's known in these parts for the number of greasy chip shops that it houses. Sometimes, if every football lad is honest, you breathe a heavy sigh of relief when the police saved the day. In the 15-odd years that I was involved, this was by far the worst hammering we ever took. A few Cardiff got cut that night, and those who were there are still haunted by the memory. I remember thinking at the time what I am doing in this game. To this day, I rate Birmingham in my top 5 hooligan mobs, their appraisal of other firms of all time, not just for the numbers but for their honesty and their appraisal of other firms. It is also believed that there was another big clash between the Zulus and the Soul Crew when Birmingham City made it to the Worthington Cup final, played in Cardiff. It's a legend that the Soul Crew turned up to spoil the party. This is what one media outlet had to say about the tear-up. 9 football fans have been charged after clashing on the streets of Cardiff before the Worthington Cup final. Police made 16 arrests on Saturday night, as Cardiff City fans met with supporters from Birmingham. In a night of sporadic outbursts, 1 person was assaulted and 9 were taken to hospital with minor injuries. 7 were charged with public order offences, 1 with criminal damage and another with possessing drugs. They are to appear before Cardiff magistrates next month. 3 more remain in custody. The violence closed St Mary Street in the city centre for 2 hours ad. In one incident, the street's Philharmonic bar was smashed up when rivals rioted. 3 nearby pubs were forced to close. Police said the situation was under control. Officers were stretched to their limits on Saturday, with incidents across the city. A South Wales police spokeswoman said, "There have been pockets of disorder involving rival fans across the city as they come out of pubs. Incidents are not concentrated in one place. The most serious so far have been assault. Police have been preparing for the possibility of large-scale riots breaking out on Sunday. There are also fears that hooligans attached to Cardiff City, who have one of the worst reputations in the UK, may seek confrontations with Birmingham's notorious Zulu warriors." The Bluebirds were playing at Kidderminster on Sunday, but fans are expected to return home as the Worthington Cup clash ends. Bluebirds fans have reportedly been using the internet to arrange clashes with Birmingham's minority element. There was another coming together with the two firms, yet again in Cardiff, when Cardiff City played Birmingham City in a league game in 2015. Let's listen to the incident. South Wales Police and their counterparts in the Midlands have now opened an investigation after the alleged incident in the away supporters' end at the Cardiff City Stadium. Birmingham have apologised to Cardiff City for any hurt and distress caused after a fracas broke out in the stands during the clash between the two clubs over the weekend. South Wales Police and their counterparts in the Midlands have now opened an investigation after trouble flared in the away supporters' end at the Cardiff City Stadium. When the Bluebirds took the lead in a championship match, they went on to win 2-0. Some Birmingham fans allegedly scuffled near the Cardiff family stand, with police called in to take action. Birmingham have stressed only a small minority of their fans who travelled were involved, and the Blues have branded any individuals involved mindless, vowing to take action against anyone found guilty of any wrongdoing. The club stresses that although it was a small minority involved, we nonetheless do not tolerate any form of crowd disorder among our supporters. Birmingham City Football Club would like to sincerely apologise to any Cardiff City fans and their families for any hurt or distress caused by the action of a mindless few who are not representative of the majority of genuine Birmingham City supporters who follow the club away from home. A West Midlands police statement said, "An investigation is taking place regarding to disorder that took place during the second half on Saturday. 2 Birmingham fans were arrested on the day for public order offences. This disorder involved a very small minority of fans who travelled to Cardiff." Cardiff City Stadium officials have spoken to the Safety Advisory Group, which is made up of representatives from South Wales Police and Cardiff County Council, about the incident. Stadium manager Wayne Nash said there had been minor incidents in the ground during the second half of the match. "We are talking about a very small minority of the travelling Birmingham supporters who were involved in this, and no Cardiff City supporters at all," said Nash. Another big tear-up between the two turned very nasty, with grave consequences for a football steward. Let's take a closer look at the incident. In September 2007, 5 Birmingham hooligans were jailed for up to 8 months, and one given a suspended sentence for their part in violence at a match in which a steward lost the sight in one eye. The previous month, Birmingham City fans had started ripping up seats in the away end and throwing them, as well as coins and a lump of concrete, during a match against Cardiff City at Ninian Park in Cardiff. One missile hit a steward in the face, causing him to lose the sight in his left eye. In a statement to the court, the steward said, "They paid no regard to the terrified men, women and children around them." Other stewards were also hit, and families with children fled the ground as the violence broke out. One Birmingham City fan was struck on the head with a £2 coin. He said, "The behaviour of our fans was appalling. Despite sharing many violent clashes, I know for a fact that the Zulus and Soul Crew actually have nothing but respect for one another. It's mutual respect, and both rate each other very highly. I studied a lot of incidents for this video, and not once did I find anything negative said about each other from both sides." I will end it on this quote from a Cardiff lad, asked on a Bluebirds forum the toughest place that he's ever been to. This was his response: "Without a doubt, Birmingham away at about the 83-84 season. Stabbings, a Cardiff fan getting a machete ran down his neck and back. Around between 400 to 500 of us being pursued all the way back to the station by thousands of Zulus, with a police escort between us and a massacre. Then to top it off, when we eventually got to Birmingham New Street, a special pulled up full of West Ham's intercity firm. I could write a book on that mad, mad day. And I vowed to myself, then I would never go back, and I haven't. But saying that, I am thinking of going this season and putting my demons to rest. I will put links in the description to this video if you are interested in any of the Soul Crew or Birmingham Zulu books that are available and very highly recommended. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you subscribe, you will be notified when we release a new video. It could be your firm we make a video about next, so don't miss out and hit the subscribe button. You can find me on Facebook or email me if you have a good story to tell. See you next time.